In this video, I'm going to show you a new prompting technique that nobody thought about before. It's called chain of density prompting. It's been introduced only a few days ago, so by using it, you can get easily ahead. We will run an experiment and compare a summary of Alex Hormozi video using vanilla summarization approach and then using chain of density summarization technique. Let's get started. So first, let's discuss what is chain of density prompting. It was introduced in this publication by Salesforce and MIT. Its goal is to create a summary that provides key details and is centered around the main entities in the text, without confusing the reader with too much information at once. And to achieve this, the method proposes a prompt that first creates a standard GPT-4 summary and then iteratively looks for missing entities and adds them to the summary without increasing its length. Let's get to an example. This is what the process of COD looks like. First, we get a standard GPT-4 summary of the text that we want to summarize. This text is about Chinese Grand Prix in F1 and an incident between Jenson Button and Pastor Maldonado. So in the first summary, we can see there is a lot of fluff and not that many entities. So in the first iteration, we find 3 additional entities that we want to add. This is McLaren, Lotus and Fernando Alonso. And we incorporate those entities into the summary without increasing the length. So we get more information with the same length of summary. Then we repeat this process 3 more times, and at the end we get a summary that contains 14 more entities than the summary at the beginning. So we have a lot denser information with the same length. Now let's configure the chain of density prompt. Inside the article we have a prompt for chain of density prompting prepared, but I've made a small modification that allows us to create better summaries from YouTube videos. So let's go to ChatGPT and paste the prompt that I've prepared. It will be also available in the video description if you would like to use it as well. So here I ask ChatGPT to create increasingly concise, entity-dense, listicle summary of YouTube video, and repeat these steps here 2 to 3 times. And the first step is add 1 to 3 informative entities from the article that are missing to the previously generated summary. Then we write a newer, denser summary of identical length, which covers every entity and the detail from the previous summary plus the missing entities. We define what's the missing entity. And the third step, which is not available in the prompt from publication, is to write a final summary at the end, where bullet points will be grouped together and titled accordingly to their content. This is done in order to make the final summary more digestible and easier to read. So this is the first box. In the second box, we need to prepare guidelines, so what the style of the response should look like. So first we want to group information into bullet points just to make the summary easier to read. Then we ask summary to be 10 to 15 bullet points and around 250 words. This is something we can play with depending on the length of the summary that we want to get and the number of bullet points. If you go with more bullet points, they will be shorter and contain a little bit less information. If you go with less bullet points, they will be longer. Yeah, and here we give more style advices, and this should be it. So we can save it. And right now we can get to the experiment part. We will summarize one of the latest Alex Hormozi videos called My 12-Hour Workday in 15 Minutes. To make summaries, we will use AI Video Summarizer plugin, so make sure that you have it installed. First, we will use vanilla approach, so we won't use any custom instructions, just ask ChatGPT to generate summary. So I will remove this part that we previously prepared and paste this prompt. So we just ask to summarize this YouTube video, we give a link to it, and we explicitly say that the summary should be created out of all chunks from the transcripts. And we can click run. The results for vanilla approach are in. So we've got 8 most important points from the video. Each one of them contains a title and a summary of the point. It looks pretty good, but as we can see, there are quite a lot of filler words. So for example, we have delves, distinguishes, emphasizes, things like that. So these are typical ChatGPT words for highlighting things or over exaggerating. By using COD approach, we can reduce them and try to make them denser and more entity-centric. So we'll try to do that in a second. Okay, so now it's time for COD approach. The first thing, we need to add custom instructions once again. So let me paste it. We can save it. And now it should be available in the next prompt. So once again, let's use the prompt that we used previously. So summarize this YouTube video, use all chunks of the transcript. And let's click run. So the results are once again in. Let's analyze them. So first, we've got a long and verbose summary that contains around 15 bullet points about the article. We can see that it's pretty hard to read through them, which is not ideal. So in the first step, we identified 3 entities that we want to add to denser summaries. And in the second summary, we can already see that they are shorter and more dense. So this gives us still 15 points, and we identify entities again. And then we create a third summary, which is even more dense. And based on this third summary, we create a final summary that groups individual bullet points, which makes the summary easier to read, because we have titles and the points that belong to them. So we can see 5 most important topics that appeared in the video, and we can read through bullet points. So for example, we can see that the first topic was productivity and business insights. Alex Hormozy talked about hair phones, earmuffs, nicotine, caffeine, and timer, and the impact of these things on the productivity. The same goes with the rest of the points. So personally, I really like this output because it's easier to skim through it and get a grasp on what the video was about. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and if you would like to see more content like that, hit that subscribe button and see you next time.